May 11th, 2 Chronicles 2, 3, 4, and 5. 2 Chronicles 2. And Solomon gave word to build a house for the name of Yah, and a house for his reign. Then Solomon enrolled 70,000 men to bear burdens, 80,000 hewing stone in the mountains, and 3,600 to oversee them. And Solomon sent to Hiram, sovereign of Tsor, saying, As you did for my father David, and sent him cedars to build himself a house to dwell in, see, I am building a house for the name of Yah, my Elohim, to set it apart to him, to burn before him sweet incense, and for the continual showbread, and for the ascending offerings morning and evening, on the Sabbaths, and on the new moons, and on the appointed times of Yah, our Elohim. This is for Israel forever. And the house which I build is great, for our Elohim is greater than all mighty ones. But who is able to build him a house, since the heavens and the heavens of the heavens are unable to contain him? Who then am I, that I should build him a house, except to offer before him? And now send me at once a man who knows to work in gold, and in silver, and in bronze, and in iron, and in purple and crimson and blue, and knowing to engrave with the skilled men who are with me in Judah and Jerusalem, whom David my father has prepared. And send me cedar, cypress, and algum logs from Lebanon, for I know that your servants know to cut timber in Lebanon. And see, my servants are with your servants, even to prepare plenty of timber for me, for the house that I am building is great and marvelous. And see, I have given servants to you, the hewers who cut timber, 20,000 cores of ground wheat, 20,000 cores of barley, and 20,000 baths of wine, and 20,000 baths of oil. Then Hiram, the sovereign of Tsor, answered in writing, which he sent to Solomon, Because Yah loves his people, he has made you sovereign over them. And Hiram said, Blessed be Yah, Elohim of Israel, who made the heavens and the earth. For he has given sovereign David a wise son, knowing wisdom and understanding, to build a house for Yah, and a house for his reign. And now I have sent a skilled man, having understanding, Hiram Abi, the son of a woman of the daughters of Dan, and his father was a man of Tsor, who knows to work in gold, and in silver, in bronze, in iron, in stone, and in wood, purple and blue, and in fine linen, and in crimson, and to make any engraving, and to accomplish any plan that is given to him, with your skilled men, and with the skilled men of my master David, your father. And now the wheat and the barley, the oil, and the wine which my master has spoken of, let him send to his servants. And let us cut wood from Lebanon, as much as you need, and bring it to you in rafts by sea to Yapho, and you take it up to Jerusalem. And Solomon numbered all the men, the strangers who were in the land of Israel, according to the census which David his father had numbered them, and they were found to be 153,600. And he made 70,000 of them to bear burdens, and 80,000 hewers of stone in the mountain, and 3,600 overseers to make the people work. Second Chronicles 3. And Solomon began to build the house of Yah at Jerusalem, on Mount Moriah, where he appeared to his father David, at the place that David had prepared on the threshing floor of Ornan the Jebusite. And he began to build on the second day of the second new moon, in the 4th year of his reign. And these are the foundations which Solomon laid for building the house of Elohim. The length by cubits, according to the former measure, were 60 cubits, and the width 20 cubits. And the porch that was in front was 20 cubits long, according to the breadth of the house. And the height was 120. And he overlaid the inside with clean gold. And the great house he paneled with cypress, which he overlaid with fine gold. And he carved palm trees and chain work on it. And he covered the house with precious stones for comeliness, And the gold was gold from Parwaim. And he overlaid the house, the beams, the doorposts, and its walls, and its doors with gold, and carved cherubim on the walls. And he made the house of the most set apart. Its length was according to the width of the house, 20 cubits, and its width, 20 cubits. And he overlaid it with fine gold, 600 talents. And the weight of the nails was 50 shekels of gold. And he overlaid the upper rooms with gold. And the most set apart house, he made 2 cherubim of sculpted work, and overlaid them with gold. And the wings of the cherubim, their total length was 20 cubits. One wing was 5 cubits, touching the wall of the room, and the other wing was 5 cubits, touching the wing of the other cherub. And the wing of the other cherub was 5 cubits, touching the wall of the room, and the other wing was also 5 cubits, touching the wing of the other cherub. And the wings of these cherubim spread out 20 cubits, and they stood on their feet, and they faced inward. And he made a veil of blue and purple and crimson, and fine linen, and worked cherubim on it. At the top of the house he made 2 columns 35 cubits high, and the capital that was on top of each of them was 5 cubits. And he made wreaths of chainwork, as in the speaking place, and put them on top of the columns. And he made 100 pomegranates, and put them on the wreaths of chainwork. And he set up the columns before the Hakal, one on the right and the other on the left, and called the name of the one on the right Yakin, and the name of the one on the left Boaz. 2 Chronicles 4. And he made a slaughter place of bronze, 20 cubits long, 20 cubits wide, and 10 cubits high. And he made the sea of cast metal, 10 cubits from one rim to the other, round all about. And its height was 5 cubits, and a line of 30 cubits measured around it. And figures like oxen were under it, all around it, 10 to a cubit, all the way around the sea. 2 rows of oxen were cast when it was cast. It stood on 12 oxen, 3 facing north, 3 facing west, and 3 facing south, and 3 facing east. And the sea was set upon them, and all their back parts were inward. And it was a handbreadth thick at its rim, and its rim was shaped like the rim of a cup, like a lily blossom, and it held 3,000 baths. And he made 10 basins, and he put 5 on the right side and 5 on the left, to wash in them. And then they rinsed off what pertains to the ascending offering. But the sea was for the priests to wash in. And he made 10 lampstands of gold according to their ruling, and set them in the Hakal, 5 on the right side and 5 on the left. And he made 10 tables, and placed them in the Hakal, 5 on the right side and 5 on the left. And he made 100 bowls of gold. And he made the courtyard of the priests, and the great court, and the doors for the court. And he overlaid these doors with bronze. And he placed the sea on the right side, eastward against the south. And Hiram made the pots and the shovels and the bowls. So Hiram completed doing the work that he was to do for the sovereign Solomon, for the house of Elohim. And the 2 columns and the bowl-shaped capitals that were on top of the 2 columns, and the 2 networks to cover the 2 bowl-shaped capitals, which were on top of the columns, and 400 pomegranates for the 2 networks, 2 rows of pomegranates for each network, to cover the 2 bowl-shaped capitals that were on the columns. And he made the stands and the basins on the stands, 1 sea and 12 oxen under it, and the pots and the shovels and the forks, and all their vessels, Hiram his master craftsman made of polished bronze for sovereign Solomon for the house of Yah. On the plain of Jordan, the sovereign had them cast in clay molds, between Sukkoth and Tzeredatha. And Solomon made so large a number of all these vessels, that the weight of the bronze was not searched out. And Solomon had all the furnishings made for the house of Elohim, and the slaughter place of gold, and the tables on which was the showbread, and the lampstands with their lamps of refined gold, to burn according to right ruling in front of the speaking place, and the blossoms, and the lamps, and the snuffers of gold, of perfect gold, and the snuffers, and the bowls, and the ladles, and the fire holders of refined gold, and the entrance to the house, its inner doors to the most set apart place, and the doors of the hall of the house were of gold. 2 Chronicles 5. And all the work that Solomon had done for the house of Yah was accomplished. And Solomon brought in the most set apart items of his father David, the silver and the gold and all the utensils, and he put them in the treasuries of the house of Elohim. And Solomon assembled the elders of Israel and all the heads of the tribes, the chief fathers of the children of Israel in Jerusalem, to bring up the ark of the covenant of Yah from the city of David, which is Zion. And all the men of Israel assembled to the sovereign at the festival, which was in the 7th new moon. And all the elders of Israel came, and the Levites took up the ark. And they brought up the ark, the tent of appointment, and all the set apart utensils that were in the tent. The Levite priests brought them up. And sovereign Solomon and all the congregation of Israel, who were assembled to him before the ark, were slaughtering so many sheep and cattle that could not be counted or numbered. And the priests brought in the ark of the covenant of Yah to its place, into the speaking place of the house, to the most set apart place, under the wings of the cherubim. For the cherubim spread their wings over the place of the ark, and the cherubim covered over the ark and its poles. And the poles were so long that the ends of the poles of the ark were seen from the set apart place, in front of the speaking place, but they were not seen from outside, and they are there to this day. When this was written, there was not in the ark but the 2 tablets which Moshe put there at Horeb, when Yah made a covenant with the children of Israel when they came out of Egypt. And it came to be, when the priests came out of the most set apart place, for all the priests who were present had set themselves apart, there was none to watch by division. And the Levite singers, all those of Asaph and Heman and Jeduthun, with their sons and their brothers, stood at the east end of the slaughter place, dressed in white linen, having cymbals and harps and lyres, and with them 120 priests, sounding with trumpets. Then it came to be, as the trumpeters and singers were as one, to make one sound to be heard in praising and thanking Yah. And when they lifted up their voice with the trumpets, and with cymbals, and with instruments of song, and giving praise to Yah, for he is good, for his loving commitment is everlasting, that the house of Yah was filled with a cloud, and the priests were unable to stand and perform the service because of the cloud, for the esteem of Yah filled the house of Elohim.